Transforming your life through hypnotherapy has never been easier. With the help of your host, Julie from coachinghypnosis.net, and these power-packed minisodes, you're sure to find yourself engaging in more positive behaviors around both your physical and mental health. Here's your host, Julie.
G'day, it's Julie from coachinghypnosis.net, and you deserve to know how to get beyond. It's been an interesting year because people are sick of being fabulous and trying to find a way to get things done. And I'm not a therapist or psychotherapist. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist in strategic psychotherapy. I currently help my clients online. They change their life without changing out of their pajamas. And you deserve to know if you're also trying to find a way. You're not alone. My clients tell me it's been an interesting year, but I want to find a way to win, or I want to find a way to track the progress of my project. I want to find a way to go to uni, quit smoking, or I just want to find a way to get this printed onto a t-shirt. And I want to find a way is a very common thing to say, but it actually is a global thought pattern. Saying it every now and then is totally fine. But if you say it all the time, it can suggest overwhelm, or the client is unsure what to do next. And the difference between a client saying, I want to be healthier and I want to find a way, compared to a client saying, I'm currently doing this meal plan, I'm exercising 3 days a week, and I have this fabulous holiday booked. We're going to Disneyland, and I don't know how to maintain my healthy eating habits. Can you help? And as you know, it's completely different in specifics compared to, I just want to find a way. And if you've read the book Process-Oriented Hypnosis by Michael Yapko, you'll know that a global cognitive style refers to an over-general style of thinking. And you might be thinking, why do I need to know that? But as the comedian Lily Tomlin said, I want to be with someone. But now I think I could have been more specific. And not knowing what to do could be a risk factor for your business, career, ongoing education. But maintaining a global cognitive style can be a risk factor for depression. Global cognition can lead to fewer and lesser skills for making discriminations, more misinterpretations and cognitive distortions, higher levels of emotionalism like feeling overwhelmed, lesser compartmentalization skills, lesser ability in sequencing skills, reduced ability to define and defend one's boundaries. And I can only imagine someone like you can easily recognize when you don't know what you're doing. And that is a skill, and you have that skill. And so to my clients, you have this wonderful metacognitive ability, the power to observe your own thoughts. But there once was a time when we didn't know what we were doing. In the early 1800s, scientists were trying to map specific parts of the brain to specific capabilities. Bumps on the surface of the skull were called things like organ of combativeness or organ of mirthfulness. And we know that those views are now dated. We know different now. Salespeople commonly hear the objection, your product doesn't meet my company's specifications. And at the same time, if the salesman lost all of his brochures and sales information, he could still give a compelling pitch because he knows the importance of memorizing the specific product information. Taking yourself or your business from it's been an interesting year to I need to find a way to mapping out a process can feel like a bunch of BS. But as a wise man once said, being challenged in life is inevitable. Being defeated is optional. And earlier this year, I had the pleasure of attending the annual Avetra conference where this energetic woman leading the field in the digital education sector here in Australia, a fabulous genius, delivered her keynote speech. Dr. Githani Nair is the Chief Innovation Officer at the Digital Skills Organisation. If you've ever attended one of her keynote speeches, she opens with a wonderful motivation story that's a bit like this. She grew up in Sri Lanka, and that's where she first studied. And in Sri Lanka, only 48% complete their university degree. And at the time, the government even paid her to finish her degree. But most of the workers in Sri Lanka, 61%, fall into known as the informal sector. No sick leave, a daily wage, but what's worse is if you're an unskilled worker, being unskilled is defined as one who doesn't use reasoning or intellectual ability in their line of work. An unskilled worker, there are no skills involved. More recently, she was in Dubai, noticing all the wonderful and grand buildings, and of the 12,000 people working in construction in Dubai, Dr. Githani Nair knew that some of them would be from Sri Lanka and 30% of them would be on great salary packages like the engineers and architects, but 70% will be unskilled. And even worse, no one will recognise their contribution to all of those fabulous structures. Here in Australia, we have a great vocational education and training sector known as the vet sector. It raises the living standards of every Australian, and so much more than that. You deserve to be surrounded by great citizens, feel motivated, energised, and live your life with purpose, and you can literally fall in love with being a great citizen. In fact, it could be the love of your life, and right now the education sector can't keep up with the demand for jobs here in Australia, and the skills gap keeps widening. Today we have 900,000 digital jobs at the moment, and by the time Dr. Gathani Nair goes to bed and calculates how many skills Australians will need, by the time she wakes up, the gap has widened even more, and she already knows that by 2026 we need 1.2 million to come out of the vet sector and university sector to fill these 1.2 million digital jobs, and we're still short of almost 200,000. But Dr. Gathani Nair knew she could find a way. She asked herself, what can we do to address these challenges, to keep up with the pace of change, because successful business models that are agile can absorb change easily. Dr. Gathani Nair wanted to hit the industry bullseye. She jokes that if you are a civil engineer, you know that tension is a good thing. It keeps things stable. But if you're in the education sector, tension is not so great, and too much tension could result in collapsing in a heap. So Dr. Gathani Nair worked out what to do. And maybe you already know. In the realm of cybersecurity, there are two distinct roles, the cyber engineer and the cybersecurity analyst. But in the past, no one recognized the difference in the skills and their transferability from one to the other. For example, if you're a cyber analyst, you might do penetration testing. But if you're a cyber analyst, you don't need to be a leader in penetration testing. You can be an advanced beginner. But if you're a cyber engineer, you might want the skill of penetration testing to be applied, and to be applied in the context as it's changing. So the skills need to be mapped differently. And as you know, in the digital space, in these agile models, we don't always rely on accreditation. There are so many successful techies that have just taught themselves at home. And then there are those that studied hard to get their qualification. So Dr. Gathani Nair threw out all the training rules for a brief moment of time. She found a way to stack the skills into accreditation and into industry accreditation. She spoke to the cybersecurity industry and things like medical tech and pharmaceuticals, mining and tech, oil and gas, food and agriculture, and she gave them a golf bag of skills and said, "What do you guys need?" Velocity and volume was the name of her game. She started 5 pilot workshops in Canberra, where the students, after 1 month of quick training that was scenario-based and experiential learning, they were sent to the workforce as cybersecurity junior analysts. If the technology was going to change quite a lot, the training was delivered close to where it was going to be used. These cybersecurity junior analysts would arrive to the workplace where their skills were already aligned to the projects, where they were mentored internally. It's a huge win for the employer and the employee. The skills required are driving the program, and the qualifications come at the back end. It puts the industry in the driver's seat, where employers, unions and governments are working together. And that's how Dr. Gathani Nair went from challenges into she has found a way. And she's put out an urgent call for industry leaders to become collaborators to help, or to become an associate member of AVETRA, the Australian Vocational Education and Training Research Association, to help drive the qualification reforms. And I don't know if you've heard of the sports hypnotist, Joseph Traumantana. He teaches his athletes to think about concepts first in general, and then they must think about them specifically. For example, with golfers, the first time he hypnotizes them, it's all about things like relaxation. But the following sessions involve a variety of techniques, including future projection, the world-class visualizer, space-time meditation, and others. Recently, I came across a fabulous blog by Randstad. Randstad is the global leader in HR services industry, titled, "Is Your Organization Prepared for the Future of Work?" And it comes with a free guide on how to future-proof your workforce. And you deserve to move on from "It's been an interesting year" to "I need to find a way" and beyond. So here's a hypnosis script titled Secrets of Success by Jill Boyne. But first, take a deep breath, hold it, and let it go. Perfect. And you already know how to close your eyes. And as you go deeper, you are realizing that you are becoming a successful person now. Whether you think of success as you automatically think of yourself as a successful person now, every day living and acting as you've always wished and becoming more successful each day. For you are a successful person and you know where you're going. You see your goals clearly in your mind, and each day you see your goals more clearly. You're grateful for the opportunities you have now and for the life you have now. All of mankind's desires, that you have everything that you want, and everyone is naturally for you. You help others to a fuller and better life by helping yourself, and everyone wants to see you be rich and successful. You make the most of yourself and your life by making yourself rich. As you advance yourself, you help others to advance as well. Your first and best thoughts are directed to the work of acquiring wealth. Your desires for wealth are desire for more complete expression, for a more creative life, for a greater love, well-being for everyone. By enriching your own life, you enrich everyone. You feel grateful for what you are and grateful for the opportunities that are before you. You continually expect good things to come to you. Everything you want is potentially yours. It is now at hand. You begin to reach out and take possession of it. You see things you want actually around you all the time. You see yourself owning them and using them. You take possession of this life in mind and in the full belief it's actually yours. You get rich. You need to use your inner power only on yourself. You see your power to keep your mind working in that certain way that leads you to wealth by holding a picture of your goals with your belief that you are worthy of life's riches. You know that it's all possible in the way of greatness, and higher endeavor comes by way of getting rich, which is the noblest aim that you can have in life. This is your goal. You know in your heart that love flourishes best where there is refinement, a high level of thought and freedom from corrupting influences, and these can be found only where riches are attained by the exercise of creative thought. By your creative thought, the things that you want are brought to you. By your positive action, you receive them. Whatever your action is to be, you must act now in the present, for it's only in the present that you can take action towards your goals. Your action must be upon the persons and things in your environment. You change your environment to a better one by acting on your present environment with creative thought. You continually focus on the vision of yourself in a better environment, but you act upon your present environment with all your heart and all your strength and all of your mind. You hold the vision of yourself in the right business. You have the purpose to get into the right business and the belief that you will get into the right business. You act in your present business and you get change in the environment by acting on your present environment. You are becoming efficient in every single action you take. Each day is a success. For each day you move closer to your goals. You hold on to your vision. You put the whole power in your belief and you define purpose into it. You become rich by doing what you want to do and doing it better. You acquire the talent, the skill, the tools you need to reach your goals. As you continue to move towards them, you act to provide more life for everyone. All of your efforts convey to the minds of others the impression of increase, for you are a creative center from which increase is being given off to everyone. And you are certain of this. You convey the assurance of increase to every man, woman, child of whom you come into contact. You convey the impression of advancement with everything you do, that people receive the impression that you are an advancing person, and you advance all who deal with you. You convey this impression by holding the belief that you are yourself on the way of increase, and by letting this belief inspire and permeate your every action. You feel that you are becoming rich, and in doing so you make others rich. And you are conferring beliefs to everyone. You impress others that in associating with you, they will get benefits for themselves. You give value greater than the value you receive. And you take an honest pride in this. And you let everyone know it. For people come to where they get benefits. Your business increases rapidly and unexpected benefits come to you. Each day you make more money, you secure greater advantages, and you move the most useful and satisfying vocation. You do all the work you can to do every day, and you do each piece of work in a perfectly successful manner. You put the power of success and the purpose of becoming rich into everything that you do. You're certain to advance because you're becoming too big for your present place. You have a clear concept of what you want to be. You know you're becoming what you want to be. You're determined to be what you want to be. When you find an opportunity to be more than you are at present, you take it, for it's the first step towards greater opportunity. Your thoughts are always on the level of creativity. You never act on the lower level of competition with others. You find that obstructions and obstacles disappear. As you approach them, you have the power because you have the powerful belief in your purpose. You know that a way over, through, or around all obstacles will appear to you. You always speak in terms of advancement. You think of the world as something that's growing and expanding. You continually keep the goals before you. Every seeming failure comes as success as you keep your faith to hold on to purpose, express gratitude, and do all that you can each day. You do each separate act in a successful manner, and you know that as you live in this manner, your life is being enriched with all that can contribute to the elegance, the beauty, the richness, the tenderness, and the love of life. You relax and enjoy your world. When it's time to do those things, you surround yourself with beautiful things. You feed your mind and develop your intellect. You love others and do kind things. You're able to play a good part in helping the world to find truth. This is wealth that is yours now. And you now begin to reach out and take it, for you are that person at this very moment. You see yourself in this way and you act the part. And as you do more and more, you become that person. You do each thing in such a way that you're satisfied with yourself, and in your imagination you see yourself serving other people's needs in a greater and greater way. You see this service bringing you greater and greater abundance, and in your imagination you see life responding to you as a result of your creative service. You believe that money flows to you as readily as anyone in the world, and you accept it when it comes, whatever the amount, with a deep sense of appreciation, and you can use it wisely and with gratitude. For money is a universal substance that belongs to everyone. Money is necessary to the full, free, happy expression of life through you. You are meant to have an abundance of money. You use your money in a healthy, generous, and in a good way. You never turn away from, nor do you refuse money any more than you would turn away or refuse to accept air and sunlight. You accept the generous gift life has for you with enthusiasm. You look upon money as your servant. It is good for you, and you use it to bring good into the lives of others. For others are benefited through your creative use of money. Creative, expansive ideas for financial success are continually coming to you as you seek to do more and more good for others. All of the channels of life, people, situations, conditions in your environment pour out to you a greater abundance of money. You seek and you find value in every situation. You do what you should do enthusiastically and successfully. Success exists for you, and you have the right to do it. For the best of your knowledge and ability, you are fulfilling your destiny here on earth. You express life, the good life, and in a full and wholesome way. You meet each day with courage and with understanding. You know there never is a shortage of money, for money is a spiritual substance. The capacity of life to respond to you is limitless because your subconscious beliefs determines the amount that you'll receive, and you now open all avenues of your mental, physical, and emotional and spiritual to give out as well as receive abundant wealth. You attract money. Money flows to you easily. If you have a clear, definite mental picture of wealth, you see yourself with all the money you desire, that you may live richly, abundantly, luxuriously. You have a feeling of great joy as you see yourself giving from your store of wealth so that others may share your good. Your heart is open to give out. Your hands are open to receive generously. You make wise and safe investments. Each investment brings you generous dividends. Opportunities to make money come to you every day. They come continually and unexpectedly. It is as normal and as natural for you to acquire wealth as it is for you to breathe. And you're grateful for your wealth and you use it where it will do the most good. A continuous flow of ideas is to increase your bank account comes to you and you put each idea to work for the good of yourself. So you may give out even more in helpfulness and service. Your success is steady and constant and everything you do prospers. You have a lavish, dependable income as a result of your personal integrity. As you continue to use what you have in services to your fellow man, more and more flows to replace the outflow. Your gratitude for and good use of that which you automatically brings you more and more greater opportunities to make money. Money-making ideas take shape and you form easily and freely in your imagination and come forth into your experiences. Wealth and even more wealth. Wealth is yours now and you accept it and you're grateful for it. You are grateful for your achievements. Most of all, you're grateful for the abundance that is yours now. Now, each of those ideas have made a very vivid, deep, and permanent impression on your subconscious mind. And each day in your daily life, you become more and more aware of the full, powerful, creative expression of these ideas. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes, take a deep breath, fill up your lungs, wriggle your fingers and toes, stretch out and open your eyes. Welcome back. You're perfect, just as you are. So what if you thought about, I need to find a way differently? And what if you didn't? The choice is yours.